Hi, welcome to Racehouse with me, Jolie.
And me, Darren Reeves.
Oh, we've had a lovely, lovely holiday break. We've been out in the world enjoying it as the drivers have, and now it's back to business. We're back to the rest of the season for Formula One. Great start to it. But before we go into that race, Darren, you went to another racetrack this summer.
Well, I did, and it's not the first time I've been to it this year. So I decided, back in May, I was down in Monaco at the Grand Prix working on the yachts, as you well know. We've talked about it at length. And I said to you, it would be great for people to be able to fly into Nice and go to Monaco as a day trip, see them setting it all up on the Tuesday or the Wednesday of race week. You can walk through the pit lane, you can walk around the track, you can just see everything being set up. It's amazing. But actually, I decided to take my family to Nice and do a day trip to Monaco 2 weeks ago. And my boys, so Harrison is the eldest one, he's 18, massive Formula One fan, has no choice in my household but to be. And then 16-year-old Lucas is the one who races in the karting championships, as you know. And I thought they're going to love this. So we fly down to Nice. There's all these private jets as you land. You just see them all lined up and you just think, yeah, here we go. This is great. We got the train into Monaco, and that was 20 minutes into the main station. And the look on my boys' faces and my wife, Sean, when we walked out of the station down the hill and onto Saint Devote, the turn one of the Monaco Grand Prix, and you just stood there in the middle of the track before you know it, trying to avoid the traffic, which is not very fast on the streets of Monaco, it has to be said. We walked up Saint Devote to Casino Square. We went into the casino. We saw all the supercars parked outside the Café de Paris and the Hotel de Paris. We went down Mirabeau, had lunch in the shopping centre, Metropole Shopping Centre, which is the classiest, most luxurious shopping centre you'll ever go in. We walked around the hairpin at the Fairmont Hotel. We walked through the tunnel. We came out the side. We went to the gift shop at the exit of the tunnel and bought some merchandise. We walked back down through the yachts and round the swimming pool and Racehouse and back onto the start-finish straight. We sat on the start line in pole position for about 20 minutes, just staring at it. And then we went and had a little Haagen-Dazs ice cream on Tabac Corner, where I watched the 2023 Grand Prix and nearly watched Fernando Alonso win it if it wasn't for a strategy call just as it started to rain. The memories that Formula One brings. On the entrance to the tunnel, you just remember Senna breaking down, Prost breaking down there. You remember, I think it was Gasly and Ocon hitting each other and rolling at one recently. You just have memories of every single corner, the slowest corner, the hairpin. We loved it. It was a brilliant day out for my kids. As Formula One fans, my daughter hated it. She's like, what track? What are you talking about? It's tarmac. She didn't know anything. She cannot bear F1, so she doesn't sit anywhere near the rest of the family when we're watching it. She just gets annoyed by it. And we dragged her around Monaco. She didn't get it at all. So I would say make sure if you do it, you are a fan. But it's a great day out. We did stay over. We didn't do it all in one day, but it's not impossible to. But it's just fantastic. But make sure you got some water on you because my word, was it hot down there. Really hot.
Oh, it's been super hot, hasn't it? But
Yeah,
I agree.
everywhere.
I've done that too. I've gone down for a day trip to Monaco and walked around and seen the boats in the harbour. I had lunch at the Fairmont, actually.
Of course you did, Joe. Of
On the
course you
balcony.
did.
Yeah,
Lovely. Looking at the hairpin or out to the sea.
out to the sea. Yeah,
Yeah.
out to the sea. Which was very cool. But that hairpin is just so famous.
Yes.
All of it is really. I mean, the hairpin is probably the most famous part, but the tunnel as well. I never forget when we were down there in Monaco, and we were right there on that's JFK Avenue, isn't it? When they come out the tunnel,
Hmm.
just phenomenal. And you really get to see the cars because they have to slow down.
Yeah.
'Cause is there a little roundabout there?
There's
Normally,
a little sort of like it's like a chicane, really.
chicane. Yeah.
As you come down the hill past the yacht club, the new yacht club, which I think obscures the view of the tunnel exit a bit now compared to what it used to be.
Mm.
But it's a phenomenal building, fantastic. But you see them come into the chicane. I can't think of the name of it now, but and then come along the side of the yachts on the marina down to Tabac, which is where we were, Joe. It's just the most fantastic, exciting place. And what I would say is watch an F1 race rerun before you go round it. Really freshen up your knowledge, whether it's this year's
Oh
or
yeah.
whether it's one. Do you know what? Go back to the history of it. Watch some of the older races from the 80s and 90s. Even back in the 50s and 60s, they would go along that marina with no hoardings. There's cars that have been in the marina, crashes into that, and sadly, somebody didn't survive it, but they've sorted all that out. Of course, that was how it used to be back in the 50s and 60s. It's well worth the trip, mate. Well worth
Yeah,
it. And we
it is.
we actually got to see Monaco under 23s at the we went to the football stadium as well, and
Oh yeah.
saw the under 23s play, and that was just great again, just down there, Cap Die. So it's just a wonderful, magical place, mate. It's almost like a Disneyland city.
It is a bit like that when you go down there. Yeah, it's a very interesting place. Um, and I mean, you mentioned. Well, we were talking earlier just before we came online about Valencia. I went to
Hmm.
Valencia this summer; it's fantastic, and there used to be a Formula One track there. You said
They
down at the port.
did. Back in the Alonso days, when he was world champion 2005, 2006, they did the Valencia Grand Prix as well as the Barcelona Grand Prix. And again, I actually now you've talked about it, I want to go back and watch one of the reruns, but I just remember them going through the port, and it was a great track. So you need to go and watch it and see which bits you recognise, Joe, from
Yeah, I think we'll do
drinking
that.
drinking too much sangria and eating too much paella while you were there. I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. We'll do a watch party for the old
Mm.
Valencia European Grand Prix. These tracks, they come and go. I mean, well, Zandvoort,
Mm.
nice little link into that with the Dutch Grand Prix last weekend. Zandvoort is no more. Maybe, I don't know. Surely, I don't understand this. I do understand it. It's economics, but it probably costs too much to put this race on. So it's coming off the calendar, and we're going back to Portimao, one of my favorites.
Joe,
Where we went, and I can't believe it's back on the calendar.
Joe, I actually first visited Portimao in 2015 and did an actual concert in the pit lane with Bjorn again. You and I went back in 2020 to do the only paddock club during COVID.
Yeah.
All right. And we were in the tower in the middle. We had a fantastic 360 view of the track.
Mm.
We've talked about it before. And now, like you say, Zandvoort is no longer. I was there working for Paddock Club for you, Joe, in 2021, the first return to Zandvoort since 1983 or 1984. And I love that track in the sand dunes with the banked Tarzan curve,
Real
turn one,
character.
and the
Yeah.
final turn, and even turn four where it sweeps left hand turn the banking. We don't have a track like that. But you're right. The reason Formula One is moving on from Zandvoort is the actual track owners or the management team of they can't afford to run the race because it is too small a venue for Formula One now. Formula One has grown too big and asking way too much money. They had 325,000 fans in over the 4-day weekend, and that's not enough to make it work. And I find that phenomenal because any sporting event that gets 325,000 people to, you've got to think's a success, haven't you? But
What is
Joe,
it like
it's
six
not
Wembley
enough.
stadiums? No,
It's mad.
it's five Wembley stadiums nearly.
Mm.
Yeah, it is crazy. But
And w-
there's still different rights holders. F1 is the one that makes the money. They're kind of
yeah,
like the Olympics or FIFA,
hmm
in how that works, and they charge a fee to the circuit to host a race. Now, some of these circuits are paid for by the government. The golf ones are is all government that pay for these races, and they just whatever you want done. That's why they love the golf so much. But these legacy tracks, Silverstone, there's always been questions around Silverstone. Always
hmm
comes up, around the contract negotiations. They have to keep Silverstone because the teams are all based around there. So
yeah,
Silverstone's a special one. But look at Hockenheim, that dropped off. Look at the French Grand Prix.
yeah,
Um,
Manucourt
yeah,
and Paul
and
Ricard.
Paul
Paul
Ricard.
Ricard,
Yeah,
yeah,
that was the last one, I think.
yes, it was.
But so yeah, it is about the economics of it. how they can't make it work is because it's all divided up. All the broadcasting rights go one way, the prize money goes another way. Mainly, these circuits are relying on the F&B. Now, the Dutch love a beer, so I can't see how they're losing out on that. But I tell you, they were losing that big time because their star, Max Verstappen, had a terrible Dutch Grand Prix after winning the first one, the inaugural one, after all those years. I mean, what happened with Max?
Well, firstly, it just shows you how on edge these cars are. And Max, who is the invincible Formula One driver and arguably the best driver of this current crop, 4 times world champion, the back end just stepped out and he wasn't expecting it. And he could, it was just so quick. You see it snap and it just turns to the left and straight into that barrier on that banking. It was like watching IndyCar and at Daytona or Indianapolis, where you've got the bank curves. That's why that sudden snap and the speed of which it happens, it was impossible for him to recover. He was just a passenger at
Yeah,
that point. But these cars are really twitchy. They are really on edge, and it makes the drivers have more control rather than the cars have more control. And we will see more of this. We have seen it this season, and reliability as well. But it was a big crash, and I know that all the drivers who saw it were straight onto the radio. Is he all right? Is he all right? It was the first thing they cared about. But for me as well, he got out the car, but you just behind it, Joe, you saw Bortoletto lose it as well
yeah.
and have a 360-degree spin just behind Max's crash and keep going.
Well, and Hulkenberg was able to avoid him as well. Somehow he avoided him. I don't know how he did that.
How he avoided it. And Lawson as well just dropped down and just missed him. It was spectacular. It's why we watch Formula One, because when these drivers avoid these situations, split second decisions, it's phenomenal. But when they lose it as well, it is spectacular viewing. None of us want to see drivers be injured or be out, but it just adds to the jeopardy of what these guys are doing, the level of skill it takes to take
Well,
on these challenges. It's just in these tracks in front of all these people, Joe. It's a
mm,
big performance thing. This is why we watch it.
yeah, but look, on the other hand, an orange car did win. So the Dutch could be a little bit happy about that. And I'm sure they will
I'm
talk about
sure they don't care about that at all, Joe. What I will say is the thing that I take from this weekend. If you've been hiding under a rock, if you don't know the result, Lando won it. But for me, that was a masterclass in a world champion. I don't know if Lando would have been able to win it last year like that, and he didn't. Piastri won it, so it was a McLaren that won it. But I don't think any of us expected the McLaren to actually go out and pass a Mercedes to win, considering how this season has gone so far with the early dominance of Mercedes. But we know McLaren since 2023 have consistently been the best team with upgrades through a season. 2023, we saw it in Austria and Silverstone, where suddenly they'd gone from the back of the grid to podium contention. We then saw it in 2024 and 2025, world champions in the Constructors' Championship. They came into 2026 having put all their eggs into Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri last year to win 2025. So they were behind the curve for the start of this season. But wow, what a team effort to bring McLaren back to the front. And Lando, as world champion, has gone out and won Hungary before the break and now won Zandvoort by passing Kimi Antonelli. What a mouth-watering season, Joe, we've got to witness now for the rest of this year.
Well, it's going to be a really tight season. I think it's going to be a three-way championship. I mean, in the standings, you've got Mercedes and Ferrari, and then McLaren, I think. Mercedes is still looking really strong.
Yep.
And they haven't, well, Toto said we haven't got the money that McLaren have to spend on
What?
development. I don't know if
What?
that's quite true. Yeah, I think it's a bit of misinformation coming out by Toto.
They're taking money from McLaren for the engines. They're
Exactly.
making money from McLaren.
Yeah, so a bit of skullduggery going on, which we do like in F1. It happens all the time. But look, still, Antonelli, very strong. There was
Yep.
the team orders to get him in front of George. George, number one driver, I think that's gone. I think Kimi is the number one driver at Mercedes now.
Well, as a Brit, it's very difficult for me to accept that. As from experience, this is George's year. It still could be George's year, but
No.
Kimi has just outperformed George unexpectedly,
Yeah.
consistently, and because of it, he's becoming more confident, stronger, and he just took the lead of that race with absolute class and dominance. And Harrison, my son, was watching some of Kimmy's onboards and he said, Dad, you just watch him and he's just perfection. He is outstanding and he's only going to get stronger in the way we haven't seen this since Max Verstappen, really. And prior to
No.
that was probably Lewis coming in. I don't think Sebastian Vettel necessarily came in and made that mark, but Lewis
But
definitely
only
did.
19. He's 19. I
Yeah.
mean, Christ, when I was 19, I mean, I think Weatherspoons is the furthest
Uh,
I got. I mean, it's so it's so different. He's
yeah.
19. He's like a fighter pilot.
Yeah,
They all
I've
are,
got to.
but
We need to check the date because I know it's his 20th birthday this week. So yes, he could well be 20 today. It might be at some point this week. But phenomenal, Joe, phenomenal, and we're witnessing it. We're witnessing history
yeah,
again, and
again,
that's yeah. In Formula One world, for me, the biggest sport, we're witnessing sporting history, and
we
it's
are.
it's his to lose.
It's his to lose, and we've still got some competition for him. I mean, Max has said that he's staying at Red Bull. He's signed another contract, and think
Yes.
until 2030. Um,
There was a
so it's
lot
an
of there was
interesting
a lot
one.
of chatter, Joe, about him
Mm,
retiring, and there was a lot of chatter about him meeting with Zach Brown in Monaco. When I got to got to be in there with the Q&A with Zach and Lando. He was talking to them, but whatever McLaren could offer, Max said it was a choice of staying at Red Bull or retiring, and Formula One would be a much poorer place without Max Verstappen. Formula One have to have the best drivers in the world.
they have to. I mean,
Yeah.
and if you lose the best drivers, then the average ones become the best ones. But that's not quite the same.
And
You
that's not
know it's not
Formula
the
One.
same. It's not Formula One.
Yeah.
I I'm surprised that Max re-signed because he has grown a bit tired with it. They must have offered him mega money, but he's got mega money anyway, so that doesn't motivate
Well,
him. He wants to win. He wants to be on top. He wants to. I don't know. It's the
his
prestige of it
far
as well.
the Verstappens got their way by getting rid of Christian Horner. Adrian Newey left as well. I think Lauren McKees is a very, very different character, but I think very, very good at what he does, and clearly has a vision and a path to get Max back to the front again. And I don't think that any other team could possibly match that vision other than Mercedes. And I say that just because McLaren, even though we've got so many great things to say about them right now, they are not an engine manufacturer. Mercedes are the engine
No.
manufacturer, whereas Red Bull are their own manufacturer now, and as are Ferrari, as are Audi.
Yeah, but look at Honda, and
Mm.
you know what has happened. I mean, Red Bull got rid of Honda, and Honda are responsible for the power unit, I believe, in Aston Martin,
Correct.
and nothing but problems. I mean, they kind of thought with Adrian Newey going in, it'd be a great restart, a great reset, and they'd be able to get some results. Now, Alonso, to be fair, after the summer break, he got P9, which was
The
great.
His best result of the season.
Yes, and so they actually put in 16 new upgrades to this car, and it shows that something is working. So, okay, fine. But Stroll, he was out. I mean, like, again, we still got this problem. The elephant in the room, you know,
There's
is it down
no
to,
elephant for me, Joe.
well, I know. It's
Mm.
quite obvious. But yeah, it's a strange one, but I'm glad that Aston Martin are starting to turn things around a bit. It's going to take some more time, but they are not going to be able to catch the podium. I'm not. We're not going to see Alonso on the podium. I can't see that happening. What do you think?
Well, not this season, that's for sure. We all know the history of Adrian Newey, and we all know the money of Lawrence Stroll, and we all know the politics with Lance Stroll. Alonso has been one of the most consistent drivers in Formula One history, but one of the unluckiest drivers in Formula One history as well, to be in the wrong car at the wrong time. It's always development and pushing for it, apart from his two championships early in his career, 2005, 2006, as we mentioned. And I think right now, without Alonso, I don't know where they would be. because of the feedback that man gives them to improve that car and get those upgrades on Adrian Newey's chassis. I think that the two of them, they are still two of the best people to be in that position to improve that car. The Honda engine has been a disaster, and what they've said since the first race in Melbourne is that it was the Honda engine that was creating the vibrations, preventing the chassis from being able to perform, and for them to even get through 20 laps. So let's look at the progression from Melbourne of the car is vibrating, we can't even drive it, we can't even drive it for 20 laps to get to the end. To get anything, you must finish a race. So to get 10th in Monaco, and now to get 9th in Zandvoort, we are seeing progression, but it's painful. When I mentioned earlier, we watched Alonso in an Aston Martin in 2023 nearly win in the wet in Monaco. He got third. They were getting podiums then. How has it gone backwards this far since Lawrence Stroll took over in 2021, I want to say? Like, it's a massive roller coaster of a journey. And I just think they're on the right trajectory, but my word, you see the likes of Audi come in and they're doing great. Williams have gone backwards. Haas are going backwards a little bit, but it's down to budget. I'm sure of it. But Aston Martin isn't down to budget. They've got the personnel in place. They've got the facility in place.
It's not enough. I don't know what is going wrong.
They've got to have two drivers feeding back. That's what they've got to have.
Well, that is true. It reminds me of the elephant in the room. Those issues do come. I mean, issues do come up. Look at Red Bull with Hajar. He hurt his wrist.
Yes.
His injury, and so it was a whole new setup. We actually had Lawson. Lawson was promoted. Yep.
Into the Red Bull team.
And we saw the return of Yuki Tsunoda, which was I when I saw the grid, I'm like, hold on a minute, I know that guy.
Yes. It was all very last minute and announced on the Thursday that Hajar had injured his wrist in a biking incident during the summer break. This is history repeating itself because Lawson came in for his first race to replace Ricciardo a couple of years ago because of a broken wrist, which he did actually on the track on the Friday. So we're, very, very bizarre circumstances, all a bit Spinal Tap. But what a great job, I think, Lawson did, and what a great job Yuki did. Yes.
P11.
Yeah. I very, very close to that. Couldn't be any closer to the points without any. Very Hulkenberg-esque. But like you said, respectable, and he was there or thereabouts with Lindblad, and Lindblad is being spoken of very highly. There was a lot of chatter about why didn't Lindblad get the promotion into the Red Bull team rather than Lawson, but I just think that was down to experience. He's in his first season. I think Lawson knew the car as well from driving those first two races of 2025, even though it is a totally different set of regulations. He maybe knew the team and so on. So I think it was the right decision. But I think Yuki's done a great job to arguably say, why am I not in the Haas? Come on, I need to replace Ocon. So there's my little tip. Will we see Yuki replace Ocon either later in the season or next season? That's my little watch this space.
They are talking about that, aren't they? Yeah, that's true.
Mm.
Well, but two people we will see again, Carlos Sainz and Alex Albon. They've re-signed for Williams. Apparently, Carlos Sainz got 30 million. I mean, what's that about? That's like their annual budget?
Well, the problem is, firstly, the budget cap does not include the driver wages. So that wages has got to have come from somewhere else, and it has to be sponsorship deals. Yeah. So I think James Vowles has done a massively great job to keep that driver lineup. I rate Albon. I think he was too early in the Red Bull team, and I think he's very seasoned and experienced now and consistent. I think Sainz could fit into any team on this grid. Having seen him win race wins for Ferrari, we didn't see him win for Red Bull, sadly. Mind you, it was Toro Rosso, wasn't he? He was in, sorry, not the main Red Bull team. Yeah. And we sadly didn't see him win in a McLaren, but he has been the journeyman through Formula One. I expected him to be the journeyman back into Ferrari when Hamilton retires, but we're not showing any signs of Hamilton retiring yet either, are we? No. So Carlos Sainz in that Williams, well done, James Vowles. I think Sainz and Albon are the right driver combo to improve that car back to where it looked like it was going last season. Didn't they have 3 podiums, 2 for Science, 1 for Albon last year?
Perhaps,
And
yeah.
I think we expected them to build on that this season with the Mercedes engine, strongest engine. It's been a disappointment for them. So this is the best news for Williams, I think, that they've had all season.
Yeah, no, definitely. And talking of news, we've had some news about the fixtures at the end of the season, namely the Qatar and Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
Joe, I've not seen this. This is breaking news for me.
Breaking news. They have said they're going ahead. So they're going to go ahead and they're going to keep reviewing it and they're going to review it again in September. Now, the backdrop to this is that you've got Iran just opposite the water, very close. I think this is very optimistic. We're not going to get into politics too much, but obviously the conflict in Iran, there is still some potential that it could go back to warfare with missiles raining down on these
Oh,
neighboring
oh.
Gulf countries. I am very surprised that they've continued this. Money does talk, as we know, but I think it may be a different kind of race. It'll be interesting to see the uptake for the ticket sales. But I think they do have a plan B, and they've long mooted they'd finish in Europe, maybe in Italy. But December in Italy, I don't know how that will work. It's going to be
Mm.
freezing. It's going to be raining. That's probably a lot of the things they're thinking about. There are other circuits in other places around the world. I think they could. I mean, they could even have done the first one in Africa. I mean, I don't know if
Joe,
they'd had
Kaya,
time to get it ready.
Kaya Lamy was the exact track I was just thinking of when you said it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, good call.
So that could happen. I mean, you've got ones in Asia. You can do some repeats. You could do a double Vegas, or you could go back to Miami maybe. But I don't think they really want to do that. Vegas is a tricky one. But anyway, Qatar and Abu Dhabi. Now the Bahrain Grand Prix, which is coming up, that was shifted because of the conflict. That's going to be held in Malaysia. So we're going to see the return of the Malaysian Grand Prix of a fashion. And we've still got a big calendar. So look, let's see what happens. Let's see where it goes. But we've still got the next race is Monza in September, Spanish Grand Prix, Azerbaijan, Bahrain in Malaysia, Singapore, Austin, Mexico, Brazil, Vegas, and then Qatar, Abu Dhabi, which will finish on December the 6th. So still a lot of races to go before we get to those final 2 races. It's half a season, essentially.
Mate, it's half a season, and with that McLaren and the Ferrari and the Mercedes looking really strong, and you can't count out Verstappen at any point. I think everything is open. It is Antonelli's to lose, but I think we're going to see a lot of surprises through the season.
Oh,
With
Hamilton is going to have a resurgence. I feel
Oh
Hamilton's
yeah,
coming back. Yeah.
mate, I feel really optimistic. He's the only driver to have finished every race. The consistency is what wins championships. But mate, you just mentioned the Spanish Grand Prix. Now we haven't mentioned that yet. We've talked about Grand Prix dropping off the calendar, but it's the Mad Ring, the street
Mm.
circuit in the middle of Madrid. Does it go by the Bernabeu Stadium, the home of Real Madrid?
I haven't seen the. We'll do it for our next podcast. But I was in Madrid this summer, so I'm really fascinated to see whereabouts they're going to
Mm.
put this race. It might not be in the centre. It might be on the outskirts somewhere. That's a guess.
Hmm.
But I can't wait to see where it is, and we'll cover that on the next podcast, definitely.
Yeah, well, I'd say I've done some touring over there over the last few years and actually got to see Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid while I was there.
Me too.
But
We've all been there.
oh,
We've all
Joe,
been to
this
the
is good.
Bernabeu.
This is good. I like it.
They were still
Uh,
building it. To be fair, it was a bit of
and
a building site.
it was a building site when I was there as well. I actually saw it at Atletico's ground, the Cosmopolitano Stadium. In fact,
I've been there, and the one by the airport, the big one.
this is the big one. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I saw Metallica there.
Well, I was just about to say, Joe, this is not you to go and watch football matches, but of course you went to see Metallica there, which
I
my
saw
son would be
Metallica.
very
I,
jealous of you.
and
Then.
when I came out, we the tube dropped us out in the middle of Madrid, and
Yep.
it was all the Spanish football fans because they just won the Euros, beat England, and
Ah.
I had to put on an Irish accent, and for fear of my life. So all the guys were jumping on the bus stops and ripping signs off. I mean, they won. Imagine if they lost. What would
Yeah.
they do? But no, great. I did go to see Chertsey Town FC last weekend, which was yeah, it was character building. We
Yeah,
drew, but there we
that
go.
would have been, yes, that would have been very character building for sure.
Well, character building. These drivers have got a lot to do. Got another half season, and we will be back for the next episode of Racehouse to cover it all and talk about the latest news. But for now, from me, Jolie. I don't know. How do we sign off? Oh, but it's bye from me, Jolie.
And it's bye from me, Darren
No,
Reeves.
it's not bye, is it? It's good. Is it
No,
goodbye?
correct.
It's
It's
goodbye.
goodbye. I was just copied. Just think
Ah,
two Ronnies and you'll be close.
post-season breaks. So it's good. Oh yeah, that's very good. Thank you.
Yeah.
So it's goodbye from me, Jolie.
And it's goodbye from me, Darren Reeves. Take care.
Take care.
Come on, Joe. We got to do it one more time. You got to get this right. You got to get the
No,
take care.
that's the end.